Please note, most responses are heard upon review and not in real time. Changes in the video's filter visually mark the replies that were the most significant. Those various audio responses have been enhanced, repeated, and sometimes slowed down. As always, we do not offer this video as irrefutable evidence of the paranormal, nor do we claim our annotations are 100% conclusive. All we're asking is that you please approach the data presented here with a curious mind, and that you wear damn headphones. I started researching the paranormal in 2003, after experiencing something unexpected. I started actively investigating the paranormal in 2009 and became intrigued with spirit boxes a couple of years later. Since then, I've conducted hundreds of ITC spirit box sessions and have owned more ghost boxes than I'll ever admit to. But one thing I noticed towards the end of last year was that I never made an effort to conduct more of a controlled type session. I'd always focused my experiments on haunted locations versus something regulated with parameters. So at the beginning of this year, I did just that. I focused on doing an 8-week-long series of ghost box sessions in the same place, my cabin, using the same device, my Steve's Box TR604, and asking the same set of 14 questions, plus 2 bonus questions and an unspoken written question. The bonus and written questions were unique to each particular session. I would repeat these questions 2 to 3 times per sitting. My basic curiosity was ultimately to see whether any consistencies, patterns, or inconsistencies would develop perceived spirit responses within the same radio signal area. That being said, my radio signal strength here in rural Indiana is sketchy at best. I have to admit, I've had much more difficult time wrapping up the finale to this experiment than anticipated. I wound up with more questions than answers, which is par for the paranormal course, right? So let's jump in. I decided to review the sessions week by week versus question by question. There are a few random things that popped up that I thought were relevant that I have noted too. But ultimately, I strained every week down to the moments that knocked me on my sweet ass. Yeah, I can say that. First, I include a few moments from my Mary Saturnalia video from Christmas of last year, which inspired this cabin session idea. Some of the lower tone phrases that I captured were shocking, especially given the very fast sweep that I had the box set on. Just FYI, my name is Matthew, my nickname is Evel, and I'm not gay in spite of my sweet ass or what the spirits say. It's relevant. But you'll notice here the beginnings of reoccurring replies that have been built upon over the course of the cabin sessions. Anyone say hello? Hello? Anyone state their names? Can you say my name again? Is there anyone that can come forward and say my name? Does anybody want to make communication? Can you tell me your name? Great, goodbye, thank you. Try to communicate. Or if I was just talking to a broken radio. Goodbye, broken radio. Broken radio. Cabin session 1. Is anyone or anything available for communication?
7. 7.
It's 7. Hello, 7. I'm inquiring as to what you identify as. How do you describe yourself?
$1. $1.
Bonus question 2. What's the purpose of mankind? What's your full name? What can I do to improve our communication? Do you have any background information about the skeleton located in this cabin? If so, what is it? What is it?
Bounce.
What's the purpose of mankind?
Name reward 30. Name reward 30.
Did I just say World War III? After the first week, I was already perturbed at what I perceived as reluctance to answer certain questions. Also of note, obviously the word 7. Is this a reference to just a number, a being, beings? There are so many religious intimations to 7 out there, I found the context amazing. The question about the skeleton. I do have a human skeleton here in my cabin. The story behind it can be found in my post, Bones of Secret Societies. I'll add the link in the description, but it's kept in a trunk, wrapped in bags. I'm inquiring as to what you identify as. How do you describe yourself? Oh, that was weird. How do you describe yourself?
Watcher. Watcher. Break.
Have we communicated before? If so, when and where? Never. Where are you from? How are you feeling right now? What do you see? How does World War III begin? All right, goodbye. Ethereal raspberry aside, getting the reply to the question, how do you describe yourself with a watcher is stunning to me. Biblically, watchers are noted in the book of Daniel and also noted in apocrypha texts such as the book of Enoch. Watchers were amongst the sons of God, angels that were to watch over men. And according to the book of Genesis, they began to lust after the daughters of men, came down to earth, apparently manifested a fleshly body, banged some hot earth babes. The earth babes gave birth to a race of giants. God then had to have a great flood to drown the giants and their smoking hot moms to cleanse the earth. Those bad watcher angels became the fallen, which were cast out of heaven. They're most commonly referred to as demons. For those of you who don't subscribe to this, I can't say I blame you. I get it. Floods are tough to swallow. For those of you who are Christians who don't believe what I'm saying, it's in your holy book. Go read it. So the reply, a watcher, was this a PC attempt at telling me it was a demon, a fallen watcher, or maybe a good watcher checking me out, or a radio blip that said window washer, and I misheard the entire thing? Then, of course, later we hear from our reoccurring new friend, Satan. This was just week 2. See where this is heading? And that's some bad news about World War III.
It's great to be with. It's great to be with.
Great to be here. It's great to have you. Is anyone or anything available for communication?
Men.
Men? I'm inquiring as to what you identify as. How would you describe yourself? I'm inquiring as to what you identify as. How would you describe yourself? What is your full name? Please tell me where you are.
See it.
Whoa. My light just shut off.
That's up.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Talking with. Talking with.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm safe.
Try this out.
Whoa. Happy? Try this out.
Colors in there.
Light shut off again. What do you see?
Here. Here.
If you can see me, what color is my shirt? Pretty sure it just said it for the record. It's a black shirt. What can I do to improve our communication? What background information can you give me concerning the human skeleton located in this cabin? Right.
We'd like to.
I'm inquiring as to what you identify as. How would you describe yourself?
Get in.
I hope I just heard porn star.
Correct.
What is your full name?
Gonna take.
What is your full name? I just hear Dwayne. Please tell me where you are. If there's a way to assist you, please tell me how.
Connect.
Say cannot.
No.
No? What background information can you give me concerning the human skeleton located in this cabin?
What's music? What's music?
Do I have a technician? If so, what is their name? Week 3, we hear from Pete, or Peter, which piqued my interest because I heard the name Peter in the Saturnalia post. And my friend, ITC researcher Ant England in the UK, often gets that name. And when he visited me a couple years back, Pete also came through for us during those sessions as well. So, I have to ask, is this Ant's Peter? Also, my lamp shutting off twice was interesting. This was also the first week my written questions seemed to get any acknowledgement. So was the intelligence I was dealing with present and literate? It did say they were in the basement, which is where my ITC bunker is and where I conducted the sessions. We blanked him was also interesting. Back in the spiritualist era, if a spirit medium didn't receive any messages during a seance, it was referred to as a blank seance. People often call ITC work electronic mediumship. I did appreciate how conversational this week was. Like when I started going through the questions again that night, and I got the response that noted I was doing another take and I would post it. Pretty incredible. Hi. My name is Matthew, and I'm looking to communicate. What is your full name? How are you feeling right now? If you can see me, what color is my shirt? For the record. Shirt. It's a light blue. What background information can you give me concerning the human skeleton located in this cabin? Bonus question. Who is Donald at St. Albans? Yeah, Donald. Who's Donald? Bonus question 2. What's the name of the little boy that Donald supposedly hurts in St. Albans? How would you describe yourself? Please tell me where you are. Where are you from? You have no clue? Do you remember your name? You can see me. What color is my shirt? If you have a message, what is it? And for whom is it intended?
Who?
Yeah, who? What background information can you give me concerning the human skeleton located in this cabin? It's right here. What am I touching? Hello? Bonus question 2. Whose the little boy that Donald supposedly hurts in St. Albans? What's his name? Can you say that again? The name of the little boy? Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. Thank you. Will you please answer the question printed on this paper? Am I communicating with anyone? That's what she said. Am I communicating with anyone? What's your name? Satan. What's the name of my friend that lives in Saluda, Indiana? Alright, I'm gonna turn this off. Thank you for communicating. Say goodbye. On the count of 3. Alright, goodbye. Notice how praying is brought up weekly. Who is praying? Or is it telling me to pray? Beyond the proficiency of spirits accurately telling me the color of my shirt, me asking about the tale of Donald and Jacob and getting knowledgeable replies is crazy to me. The tale of Donald and Jacob is a unsubstantiated ghost story from the St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. Basically, it's a disturbing story of a hospital orderly raping and killing a young boy named Jacob. Horrific. But these intelligent responses seem to connect with a theory of ITC practitioners of building a contact field, which is like weaving lines of communication and creating a communication web to previous locations and sessions. I've been to St. Albans twice. I'll add a link to one of my sessions in this video. And the "tell him Satan" reply, definitely interesting. And also my friend and paranormal investigator, Gene Caswell, lives in Saluda, Indiana, which might be a metropolitan area of him, 20 barn cats, 3 deer, and a werewolf. All right, here we go. Who's pissed off? All right, who kept shutting off my camera? He's evil. Where are you from? Tell me what material my shirt's made out of. How are you communicating with me? If it was a man or a woman? You know who this person's name was? Who was saying they were pissed off?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm gonna shut this down. Turn this off. Goodbye. It's not Satan. Before I even began, I sure am glad they clarified that. This was one of the least productive sessions. 20 minutes of footage lost due to my camera inexplicably shutting off, which was weird. When I was asking questions during that time, I repeatedly heard "pissed off." Then the almost jubilant "we did it" at the end appeared to be in celebration of me not having a great session and giving up. I've read the book Ghost Box, Voices from Spirits, ET, Shadow People, and Other Astral Beings, written by Chris and Paulette Moon. In the book, Chris Moon details being one of the first ITC researchers to use ghost boxes in paranormal investigations. He speaks of spirit technicians helping to facilitate communication connections with beings and details how they would protect him and the session if something malevolent attempted to come through by draining batteries or simply shutting off the ghost box. I've found this interesting considering how week 5 went. I've asked and listened during a multitude of sessions for a technician. Think of them as like spirit guides that mediums often refer to. But I've yet to hear anything that identifies itself as such. However, between all the replies urging me to pray and then my technical difficulties during these experiments, my curiosity certainly has been piqued.
Help? Help?
Okay, my name is Matthew. Hello. You can also call me Evel Ogleville. And I'm trying to establish communication through this device. So if you can, is there anyone or anything available for communication?
I'm not.
You're not?
Sure.
Hoosier.
Yeah, I'm a Hoosier. How would you describe yourself? Great. Fun. Please tell me where you are.
Find us.
How are you feeling right now? I hear you say happy. What do you see? If you can see me, what color is the shirt that I'm wearing? What color is my shirt? For the record, I am not wearing a shirt. How are you communicating with me? Say your mind. Are you using me and my intentions, or are you using this device, the radio waves? How are you communicating with me? All right, if you have a message, what is it, and to whom is it intended?
More about you.
Any information concerning the skeleton you can tell me?
Discovered.
It's discovered. Is it male or female? All right. Who gave me this? When I was about 6 or 7 years old. Once again, a startling response before I even started my questions with, "We've been down in hell." And after that, I exchanged pleasantries with Satan himself. The longer these sessions continued, the less cooperative the responses seemed. If I did get a reply, it felt begrudging. I also became more irritated through the process myself. The answer of "your mind" after asking, "How are you communicating with me?" definitely made week 6 worthwhile and might be the most telling of the entire experiment. Holding me, the pits of hell. Just another example of the dark replies aimed at me. I also loved when I let out my big sigh and the spirits noted my boredom. And who or what is asking me to praise God and pray? Wouldn't that be a contradiction if I'm only communicating with evil? The trigger object I used that week is a petrified batfish given to me by my dear late Grandma Scruggum. It seemed the spirits struggled with that last name.
been enough.
How are you feeling right now?
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Who wants to? And I was really. Who wants to? And I was really.
If you can see me, what design is my shirt? Just for the record. It's like a plaid. If you have a message, what is it? Alright, bonus question. Whose house did Mike Colwell do a ITC session in tonight? I'm gonna turn on the light. Yeah, turn on the light. Can you answer the question printed on this paper, please? Can you answer this, please? Where are you from? How are you feeling? What do you see right now? Is there a way to assist you? Who's your message for? The world? What is your message? Huh? What is your message? You with the deep voice, tell me your message. The world? What is your message? Huh? What is your message? You with the deep voice, tell me your message. Okay, final question. It's a written one. So I want you to please try to answer the question printed on this paper. Okay? Please answer this question. Waiting for me to start. Waiting for me to say something. I love keeping spirits in suspense. The message, I have you fucker. Who or what thinks they have me? And Mike Caldwell, my pal and paranormal investigator, is a frequent flyer here on Paraholics.com. Mike did an ITC session earlier that day, and Diane is the name of the lady's home where he was. She recently passed away. I was particularly thrilled to get a direct and full intelligent response to a printed question. Finally. Not just once, but twice. A response of monster or a monstrosity has also been prevalent of late. Am I the monster, or are they seeing something else? Maybe something attached to me? Then I got about the oddest and most cryptic message from a French ghost. I blame Satan. Question number 2. Who is Satan? Please address this printed on this paper, please. No? Please do this. Ready, please? You're not allowed to say it? You can see me. What color is my shirt? Alright, for the record, my shirt is like a navy blue. What can I do to improve our communication? Maybe slow this down or speed it up? Alright, second question. Who is Satan? So week 8, the final week, I decided to follow the satanic brick road paved for me and steered my bonus questions in that direction. The adamant and repeated refusal to address the Archangel question was weird. Once again, the progression of being unwilling or just flat out refusing to answer the set questions for this experiment, but to intelligently interact with the bonus questions, continued through the 8 weeks. It's really difficult for me to coherently and succinctly summarize Evel's 2021 ITC cabin sessions, mainly because my views of ghost box work is entirely in a state of flux. I suppose I could say it was a disappointment, a flop, a win, or a success, but none of that would fully encapsulate my thoughts. So I could say, hey, that Satan shit sure was scary. Click that like and subscribe button, or ghosts sure do know their collars and fabric. But that's all too easy. I never do easy. So I think it's best if I break my summary down to 3 areas that not only cover the cabin sessions, but any ITC experiment or experience, and can probably be applied to all paranormal evidence. Those 3 areas are intention, perception, and the phenomena. Intentions are your aim, your plan. Your mindset, even if you pound your chest as a skeptic, when you go to a place that's haunted, or if you're checking claims of a haunting, or if you're half-dressed sitting in your basement talking to a broken radio like a lunatic, you're opening yourself up to the possibilities of something strange happening. You're suspending all logical reason in hopes that something unexplained will occur and you'll experience it, record it, and show it off like a big dick on YouTube. Too far? Well, it was funny. So I don't care if your intentions are focused on ghosts, aliens, your Aunt Pat with an iron lung whom a piano tragically fell on, or whomever. We want something to happen. We open the door, turn on the front porch light, and we wait. It's fun. Our intentions are thoughts. Thoughts are energy that we don't even know how we project out into the ether, or what may lurk out there that could read our intentions, thoughts, prey upon them, and what or who might feast upon our attention. Which leads directly to perception. Perception is our ability for insight, how we see or hear, and our understanding of it. Our understanding happens in our itty-bitty minds that are already filled with intentions. For example, you're ghost hunting. You catch a Class A EVP on your recorder that says, "Surprise, I'm a ghost." So, bam, you caught a voice of a ghost. Or did you? We are biased. We label our experiences based upon expectation most of the time. When you're hoping that it's spirits of the deceased, that's where our minds go. And ironically, the phenomena plays into conforming to that expectation, and you document something strange. Intentions create context, and context alters perception, and perceptions are preyed on by the phenomena. See the cycle? This applies to everything. But evil asshole Ogleville, I've had many nights paranormaling and nothing ever happened. Yes, me too. And I've had sessions where nothing comes through. I'm basically applying this to results we deem unexplained, the paranormal. All I'm suggesting is that the filters we process our evidence through are probably full of wishes and assumptions, and the phenomena manifested. It's funny how we won't believe half of what people in front of us will say, but wholeheartedly accept as true some cryptic messages from an invisible intelligence. Think about that. So, what I mean is, ghost boxes work, but people are broken. Yes, I've joked a million times that ghost box work is merely talking to a broken radio, but perhaps it's the other way around. I think the messages come through, but our perceptions mess it all up, and we're merely toyed with. Because the phenomena is real. And no matter what gadget or medium we utilize in our research, the phenomena can use anything placed in its path to let you know its presence. Except SLS cameras, but that's a different dirty diaper I'm not changing in this video. But evil ass face Ogleville, ghost boxes are just false positive machines. It's laughable at this point that people still try to discredit ghost box work as viable tools in paranormal research when nothing that anyone captures is evidence enough to unequivocally prove the phenomena or define it. Think about that. We seem incapable of being totally objective in our approach. You're already looking for haunted experiences, so you're already biased. During an ITC session, you'll have radio bleed, audio pareidolia, and intelligent communication. These can all exist at the same time. Lots of people think if there's radio bleed, it debunks the session. But if that's true, look at EVP work. You're not in a controlled environment, so that ultimately debunks all form of any evidence you capture. If the theory of communication piggybacking through the electromagnetic spectrum is accepted in EVP, then the potential of ghost boxes giving anomalous replies is just as sound. It's just as viable as working through a spirit medium. How can mediumship get a pass on its incorrect or irrelevant hits, but not a ghost box? If you hold mediums to the same scrutiny of intention and perception, they are inherently false positive generators, just like radio bleeds. But intelligent and relevant messages still come through mediums. We shouldn't impose restraints on a phenomena we only pretend to understand. We are all pissing in the same cup. Phenomena can be an extraordinary but observable event. And in philosophy, phenomena appears to and is constructed by the mind. Yes, without our minds, there's no phenomena. How else could it be observed? Like the old adage, if a tree falls in the forest, does the ghost of a lumberjack yell, timber? Or something like that. You see, there is something behind paranormal experiences. Millions have experienced similarly weird events throughout history. Maybe it's part of an imprint on our global psyche that momentarily gets jerked around by the moon in waves of perception. That's poetry. Honestly, though, I have no answers as to what lies behind what's labeled paranormal. We try to make our perceptions fit so that its root is our own minds or aliens, ghosts, spirits, time folds, interdimensional beings, magic, and so on and so on. That's our ego trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle of a picture just to make us feel better or special. As long as we carry forth with the perception of our narratives, the true understanding of what we're communicating with will always stay veiled. I say this with confidence because after centuries of trying, there's no definitive proof of anything besides weird stories, weird pictures, weird recordings, and people who have had their lives impacted in a very weird way. And for people who pursue this in the name of science, their efforts remain fruitless in the face of what might ultimately be unknowable, supernatural. How miserable. But the ego of men pushes us all. I mean, look at me telling you to look at things differently, right? So, yes, I'm saying I have no answers. I'm just offering that our questions might be all wrong. After years of ITC sessions, I do believe the force behind the phenomena is a trickster. Now, I can't claim it's exclusively just that force, I don't know, but my feeling is that it's the most accessible source that will involve people. Who or what is this trickster? I have no idea, but it feels synonymous with the paranormal, and the concept of its existence has had many faces and names over the history of man. I do believe its goal is to entice, distract, and confuse us. The more attention we give it, the more interaction it'll give us, and it becomes more powerful, emboldened, and prominent in our thoughts and our lives. And the more narrow our perceptions are, the harder it seems to prey upon superstitions, beliefs, and fears. The broader our perceptions are, the more it will find ways to manifest, to remind us it's always there and we're never alone. Not only that, maybe it chooses those amongst us it knows that by giving us a taste of its existence, will pursue and vie for its attention repeatedly, maybe for the rest of our lives. I make this observation merely through experience. I cannot offer any concrete proof, as with most things, but I do have unusual recordings that started me down this road of trying to see my larger picture of what any of this might mean. For example, over the past few years, I've started to reject the idea that when it comes to spirit box work, I'm truly in contact with spirits of the dead humans. Once I changed that narrative and have attempted to push harder on my questionings of what I might truly be communicating with, an obvious shift happened with the responses I've received. They've gotten darker, more menacing, and threatening. I mean, look at the cabin sessions. Listen to the references of Satan, hell, etc. I find this all increasingly interesting because I'm not a Christian, but I was raised in a very strict and dogmatic Christian faith. To most normal Christians, the last thing they would typically want to hear is a message from Satan the devil, right? I completely feel these messages are a direct attempt to unnerve me, to make me second guess myself, and to derail my intention of attempting to peel back the phenomena to see what's under the hood, behind the curtain, a glimpse of transparency. I'm not even insinuating the phenomena is evil. If my intention was set on angel communication, I'm sure it would appear in some form to lead me in that direction as well. I think the phenomena is parasitic in nature and will present itself in any possible form or identity to keep us engaged. Engaged in wonder, or engaged in fear, or engaged in love. So in a way, if my cabin sessions accomplished anything, maybe I frustrated it. It definitely seemed like it wanted me to stop, and I guess I'm glad I didn't. So that's it. I know this all sounds nuts, but if you follow real ITC experimenters, and I don't mean the ass bags out there who do dead celebrity sessions for clickbait entertainment, I'm just assuming you might already be on the fringe yourself. Especially if you follow this fucking video until the end. I'm just asking, as you continue your personal ITC work, to please challenge what you believe. You believe in what someone or something has filled your head with, or how you define your experiences. But what if that information is incorrect? Question your faith in these beliefs, because in doing so, maybe we'll catch a glimpse into the true nature of the trickster behind the phenomena that's haunted and hunted mankind and the beliefs we have adhered to for centuries. That's my proposition. And if you reject all of this, feel free to stick with the devil you know. Take care of yourself.